Welcome everyone. Welcome. I'm Mark McCormick, as all you guys know, for those who don't know. And I want to start this video out by saying all constitutional rights invoked, none waived. Okay? And I want to get into talking about some pretty interesting topics here today, but I'm going to lead into talking about civil lawsuits and why civil lawsuits brought by ordinary citizens is very important, and why it's important and extremely important for us to get into the regular practice of bringing civil lawsuits by non-attorneys. Okay, I want to start this video out by talking about a young lady by the name of Breonna Taylor. For you who don't know who Breonna Taylor was an EMT worker. She lived in Louisville, Kentucky, and she was gunned down by police March 13th, 2020 in her home, okay? So a lot of you may know that there has been a lot of trending going on since that. There has been a lot of trending. Her name has been trending. And also, there was also a young man by the name of Elijah McClain, who was also killed by police. So I want to talk about both of those situations. So we're going to start by talking about Miss Taylor, okay? I'm not going to get into the details of what happened and all that. You guys could look up that on your own, but I'm just going to highlight some things. Now, we have certain people, like we have celebrities and we have certain people, activists, that are calling for justice for Breonna Taylor, all right? And you know, I support justice for Breonna Taylor, but I want to clear up, in my opinion, why there has not been any justice for Miss Breonna Taylor as of date. Okay? The reason why I believe that there has not been any justice for Breonna Taylor is simply because when you are trying to get justice for someone, we as the American people, we lean too much on attorneys, and we lean too much on mayors or governors. We lean too much on those people to do what we know is the right thing, okay? All right? So I have a problem with that, because Breonna Taylor's family should be able to seek justice themselves. They shouldn't have to wait on nobody. They shouldn't have to wait on the Attorney General. They shouldn't have to wait on Daniel Cameron. People shouldn't have to march and beg the Attorney General of Louisville, Kentucky, Daniel Cameron. They shouldn't have to beg him to get something done, all right? And see, that's the problem that we have in this country. We have a big problem with that, all right? We have a big problem with that, because Breonna Taylor's family should be able to march in federal court and file their charges, okay? They should be able to do that, all right? They should be able to walk into federal court and file a writ of mandamus and force those people, okay, for prosecution. It shouldn't be no, oh, well, do the right thing. You're asking. There should be no asking. There should be no asking. Because essentially what you're doing is you're asking a coach of a football team to destroy his own players. It's not going to happen. You see what I mean? We should not have to rely on so much outside pressure from the American citizens and from celebrities to get the right thing done, okay? The family should be able to march in there and get justice on their own, and that is accountability, okay? And if these police know that regular people can take them to federal court and hold them accountable for heinous crimes or for misconduct, I believe that we will see a shift. I believe that we will see a shift in the American society. But as long as we are asking As long as we are marching and asking, no, no, no. Because we can't give every situation the same attention. All right? So there's going to be some people that are not going to be able to get justice. There's going to be some people that are not going to be able to get justice, okay, because they didn't have that many celebrities behind them. No, we don't need to be operating in a society like that. We don't need to be operating like that. Like I said, the mother and the heirs of her should be able to march into federal court, file their papers, okay, and sue on the civil level in the civil federal lawsuit, okay? They should be able to do that. And then they should be able to file a writ of mandamus to force the U.S. attorney to file criminal charges. Okay? All this asking and all this marching and all these people like Tamika Mallory, and I love Tamika Mallory. I love what she's doing. But we shouldn't have to count on people like Tamika Mallory and Rihanna and people like that to stand up and take time out of their life and go and create a movement. We shouldn't have to create a movement every time something like this has happened. All right? So you need to understand, we need to stop asking these people, okay, to reprimand their own soldiers. All right? And that is the problem. We have to stop asking. And then situations like what happened to Elijah McClain, all right, where the police shot him up with some ketamine to sedate him, and ultimately he died, okay? They're still waiting on justice for that. We need to stop asking. We need to stop asking. It shouldn't matter if you black. It shouldn't matter if you white. It shouldn't matter if you Hispanic. It shouldn't matter if you Japanese. It shouldn't matter if you Chinese. Okay? It should not matter. Wrong is wrong and right is right and justice is justice. Okay? So we need to focus on the system, okay? So not right now I'm going to talk about what potentially prevents the Breonna Taylor's family from going in there and getting justice on their own. Okay. These things could potentially stop justice. Qualified immunity, sovereign immunities, judicial immunities, those things, those immunities, we need to take a look at that. Okay, we focusing on all this other stuff and we not looking at the fine key ingredients to why all of this stuff is not leading to justice, okay? We need to look at the very fine ingredients of these federal laws because essentially it's the FBI's job. It is the FBI's job to investigate state officials when they run amok. Okay? It is their job to do that. 18 USC 242 and 18 USC 241. All right? We need to get them regularly paying attention to those laws. And like I said in some of my last videos, you can write all the laws and have all the executive orders until you blue in the face. But if we don't have people regularly using this stuff, if people are not familiar with what a writ of mandamus is, if people are not familiar with how you can go file a civil lawsuit in federal court when the police is getting out of order, all right? If people don't know about those tools and they don't have those resources and those tools, then they find themselves in situations where they have to go get a team of people and marching and begging for justice. No, it shouldn't have to be begged for. All right? Because if you go commit a crime, if you as a regular citizen, if you go in a bank and you rob it, or if you go in somebody's house and commit a crime, or if you go shoot up somebody's house, they aren't going to be begging to prosecute you. You're going to be prosecuted so fast your head going to be spinning. Okay? So we need to create a level playing field, and this is how we do it. All right? We take a look at these sovereign immunities and these judicial immunities and this qualified immunities. Okay? Now, a lot of state officials, they cite judicial immunity when they want to get out of something. Okay, we need to take a look at that. A lot of these police officers, they cite qualified immunity when they want to get out of the trouble. We need to take a look at that. Okay, we need to take a look at these sovereign immunities that the state want to invoke when they say, "Oh, under the 10th Amendment, we sovereign and we want to no." I mean, I think it's the 11th Amendment, sovereign. But we need to look at that, okay? And then families could start marching in federal court and taking the civil action and then filing a writ of mandamus to get the criminal action going. All right? You cannot sit there and beg. That's just like sitting there begging a mother to send her child to jail, to convict her, to give her child up to be convicted for murder. Even if they did do it, the mother, that's still her child. So everybody with common sense, everybody with some sense know that the police, they take care of their own. I had a judge actually in the court in Akron, Ohio. I had a judge, I'm not gonna mention her name, but I had her tell me, well, I know the police did you wrong. I know they stopped you because you were riding in a brand new Escalade, and I know that they were harassing you. I know that they was just doing that. They do that all the time, but unfortunately, I have to side with them. And I know you didn't run that stop sign, and I know you didn't do that what they said, so I'm just gonna reduce it to a busted tail light. That's what she said. I'm just gonna reduce it to a busted tail light, which holds no points and no penalties, and that's it. See, that's a problem. That's a problem. And that happened in Summit County, and that judge is still in there. You know, and she was nice. She was a nice judge. But I'm saying she was nice because her attitude was nice, but I see the position that she was in because it's a brotherhood. Okay, so that's what I'm showing you guys, that you cannot just ask these people to get their own people. They know they doing wrong. That ain't no surprise. They know these people is doing wrong. They know that their people is doing wrong in most cases. But they don't want to reprimand their own people because that's going to make them look like they going against the team. All right? So we messed up when we send our children to these state schools and we are educated by these same state officials, all right? They're not going to tell you how to go into federal court and reprimand them when they ain't doing the right thing. That's up to you and your family, okay? That's up to you and your family to take heed to that and to understand how those mechanisms work. And even though they have a qualified immunity and sovereign immunity and judicial immunity for judges and guardian ad litems and stuff and prosecutors, they feel like they can do what they want to do, so we need to take a look at that. And we need to have people that are regularly reprimanding these people on their own without a state attorney, because again, as I explained in many of my other videos, a state attorney is a state official. That's another one of their brothers. That's another one of their brothers. So you essentially want to hire one of their brothers to go against the other brother. Do you see the problem with that? Do you see the problem with that? Do you see it? Do you see it? Because I see it, okay? I'm involved in a federal case right now, all right? Where these people didn't want to do the right thing. And I'm still fighting. And I'm a fight. Because these people don't want to reprimand their own people, all right? Okay? And I understand that. I understand the situation they in, so that's why I'm taking the action myself. I'm in the court myself. I'm doing the work myself. I filed the lawsuit myself. I'm responding to the motions myself. Okay? And that's what we need to do. We need to get out of this society of being ran by all lawyers. All lawyers are state officials, every last single one of them. Every last single one of them. Every last single one of them. So you have some good ones and you have some that are not so good, okay? I've met some awesome attorneys, but unfortunately they are all controlled by the state, all of them. All of them. We need to have regular citizens going in these courts taking the appropriate action. And there should be something put in place, okay? There should be something put in place where people must learn how to utilize these tools, okay? Because you can write all the laws until you blue in the face, okay? The president can make executive orders until he blue in the face, all right? But if we not getting into the regular practice of using these tools, then guess what? Those tools will become idle. Just like you have people violating the 14th Amendment like it's water, like it's nothing. Oh, no. Oh, it's nothing. You file a 42 USC 1983 complaint for violation of your rights. I can't tell you how many of those I seen thrown out that shouldn't have been thrown out. Okay? Because you don't have enough people doing it. We need to get into the common practice, and we need to have the layman being able to march in there and file a 42 USC 1983. All right? We need to have that, because if we don't have that, you're asking. You're just asking. You're just asking. Okay? And as long as you are asking, there is no incentive for anybody to do anything for you until they get ready or unless they want to. So that's the problem. That is what fixes the problem right there. I just said it in that 16 minutes that I've been on here. That's how you fix it. That's how you fix it. That's how you fix it. All right? So whatever we need to do, we need to get those immunities edited, okay? Those immunities should be wrote clear that these people cannot be prosecuted. They cannot be held accountable through a civil lawsuit for just doing their jobs. Now, a lot of that stuff that they've been doing has not been their job. It's not your job to go kill somebody. It's not your job to go shoot up the house, you see what I mean, and kill somebody. It's not your job to use that level of force to recklessly like that, all right? We need to have some clauses put in place. We need to have something put in place to where the power is given to the people to do what they need to do. And so that they're not left begging. They're not left marching. They're not left waiting. They're not left waiting for a Beyonce or a Rihanna or a Tamika Mallory or a MC Light or a person like that to speak out. We shouldn't have to count on celebrities, okay? We should be able to get out there and fight just like I'm in the court fighting. It should be the same way. It should be the same way. That's what that stuff was put in place for. But we get away from that. We have gotten away from that because we became too laxed, okay? And we just went to their schools. We went to these state schools and we just did as they told us. And we didn't learn enough on our own. We didn't self-educate enough. Some stuff need to be learned at home. Not everything is learned at school. There has to be some things that's learned at home. And if we are going to be learning everything at school, then just like they mandated that everybody take a state test, a state school test, they need to mandate that everybody take a certain type of test and learn about these forms. That's how we cut out all this playing. And police officers and judges and lawyers, they all need to be forced to carry insurance, just like drivers. Just like anybody who own a car, they have to have insurance. And if they don't, they get license suspended. Okay? All of those people that I just named with those titles, they should all have insurance. Okay? So when they think they don't want to do the right thing, that can come out of their insurance, and their insurance premiums can go up. They go up, and that controls that. That controls that. And additionally, we need to incentivize. We need to provide an incentive for the lawyers and judges. Well, mainly just the judges and the police officers. Mainly the judges and the police officers. There need to be a incentive, some type of bonus system for judges and police officers when they are upholding the law accurately, when they are doing their duties responsibly, okay? When we create incentives for them, that is a positive. That is a positive thing that can help them want to do the right thing. All right? Okay? So that's how we fix it. Just simple. If I was running the show, I would know just how to fix it all. And I would. Because it's very simple. People make the littlest things seem like rocket science. It's not rocket science. All right? All right? So again, I want to say justice for Breonna Taylor and justice for Elijah McClain. And I'm sorry that their families had to go through that. And I'm sorry that their families had to beg for justice. And this is why I created InvokeMyRights.com. Okay? I created InvokeMyRights.com because that site offers you the basic understanding on how to do the things that you need to do if something like this happened to one of your family members. All right? It offers you the basic tools to show you, to guide you, so you can move how I had to move in court. All right? So these tools that are out there for people, they don't even know that they can do what they can do. All right? So again, I want to say all constitutional rights invoked, none waived. And today is the 4th of July, and I felt like it was very important for me to make this video to touch on this, okay? And again, accountability is everything, but we can only have guaranteed justice if we have guaranteed tools that we can go to and utilize ourselves. We don't need to be waiting. All right. And you guys can get an idea of these tools, and you can learn about this if you go to my website at InvokeMyRights.com. Okay, the link will be provided in the description area. And when you become a member, you will be able to not only find out how you can file civil lawsuits, but if you don't have the money to be able to pay, it shows you how to file the particular paperwork that waives the fees. All right. If you are in a bankruptcy situation and you need to file bankruptcy, it shows you how you can file bankruptcy step by step. Okay? All of this information is broken up into 10 modules. So when you become a member, you have access to all of the information all at once. All right? So I want to urge you to check that out. I want to encourage you to check that out, because you never know what tomorrow brings, and you do not want to be left on the curb begging for justice. Okay? All right. With that said, everybody enjoy your 4th, and thank you